Today we're running Ash Magisteria 12 with a completely free-to-play team. We have two 60s and two 30s with subpar gear. I'm going to go over all of their gear, all of their glyphs, and why this team is successful with two level 30s. Here we go, Ash Magisteria 12 we have Joseph, we have Pluto, we have Nathalia, and we have Santis. Right now I have two level 60s, no ascensions. Joseph does have ascensions. Nobody else really has much going on. I believe Nathalia has two because I've pulled her some extra copies. However, she is level 30 with subpar gear. Right now, this comp has been 100% for me, but this is very, very bare bones. All of that gear, as you'll see, is very subpar. Nobody has over 200% crit damage. I believe Nathalia is around 2200 attack, which is extremely low. She doesn't have 100% crit rate, but this comp is 100% for me. So if you are struggling in Ash Magisteria 12, especially with the recent changes that they've made, this is the comp for you, and especially if you are free to play. As I've mentioned, there is lots of room for improvement here. As you can see, if we took both level 30s to level 50 or even level 60, that would improve a lot. If we got some ascensions on Nathalia and on Santis, that would help a lot as well. And if we had some more damage, as you'll see later on in this video, this run would be much faster. Right now, this run is about 1 minute and 15 seconds, and it has been, for me, 100%. So, this is the team. This team has been working really, really well. And right now, there it goes. I almost thought it was going to fail, but as I mentioned before, this team has been 100%. I paused to see what was going on, and this has been really, really good. Let's jump into it. I'm going to go over all of their gear, all of their glyphs, and why this team is successful with two level 30s. Starting off with Nathalia. Looking at Nathalia, looking at her stats, 7,000 health, 2,200 attack. Very, very low. Level 30, by the way. Very low. 142 speed. Not even 100% crit rate. There is lots of room to improve. 180% crit damage if we crit. Hopefully we crit, we get through it. I'd like to see her closer to 200% crit damage. Maybe a little more attack. This is extremely low. This is a free-to-play bare bones comp. Let's look at her gear. Looking at her gear, random gear, just enough to hit stats. Speed boots. We need her to go a little bit faster than 135. She is a little bit faster right now than I like. I had her at 137. She was working really, really well, and she was going last. Now, the reason why she is going last, the reason why we want her going last, if she does not have enough damage to wipe out the waves by herself, you want her going last. You want some of the other heroes to do some damage so she can go in and use her Arcane Nova, which is her ultimate, which will reset. So if the waves are half health and she kills anybody, this will reset. So if she has really low damage and she's going first and she does not kill anybody, you will fail this run. Glyphs. Level 3 glyphs, that's it. I got a couple of level 4 glyphs in here. One of them is for the crit rate, trying to get that up. And this speed glyph, I regret. She does not need the speed glyph. I actually liked her better at 137 speed. That worked out really, really well. But that is a simple fix because she is in speed boots. So all I can do is put her in attack percentage boots with enough speed, a little bit more speed, or I can put her in health percentage boots or defense percentage boots. You do not want flat stats on this. Going over her gear, crit rate ring. Does it matter which set? No. What we're looking for here is stats. You are looking to hit 100% crit rate, 135 or higher speed, and as much crit damage as you can. If you can get her in a set, that'd be great, but you don't need her to be in a set. My Nathalia right now is level 30, so if your Nathalia is dying and you can get her in a revival set, that will be ideal. But what we are looking for here is stats. We're looking for 100% crit rate, which mine doesn't have, 135 or higher speed, and as much crit damage as we can. And then if you can get your attack to 2500 or higher, that will be ideal. As I've mentioned before, this is a free-to-play comp with bare bones gear, very, very minimal glyphs and minimal gear. By the way, her abilities are all maxed out. You need them to be maxed out. Santis, looking at Santis. Santis doesn't even have maxed out abilities. That is so sad. I totally missed that. However, I don't have the very, very low water gems. I spend all of my time farming. As you can see, I got 1,385 of these, and I got about 150 of the big ones. So I spend all of my time farming the higher stage dungeons because I run higher end content. Now, with that said, lots of room for improvement. If I can do this with my team, you can definitely do this once you max out all of the skills. Looking at glyphs, level 1 is complete, level 2 is complete, level 3 is complete. Level 4, did not touch it all, don't need it, don't have to. She's also level 30. As you can see, 3 stars, level 30. No ascensions, by the way, no ascensions at all. So what we can do is, if you are able to fuse a couple of copies of her, ascend her, get her the plus 15 speed, we can get her out of speed boots, which takes me to my next point. Looking at her stats, she is in speed boots to hit 142 speed. That is a good speed for her. 140, 138, 140, 145 is good. 150 will work as long as you have Joseph going first. That will work. Attack, very, very low. Does not really need attack. 7,500 health, again, extremely low. 900 defense. She does not really need crit rate or crit damage. If you can get it, fantastic. If you cannot, that's okay. She is a poisoner. All she needs is focus. Enough health to survive the attacks and focus. I have 100% focus on her. You don't need it. I just got lucky with that because, as I've said before many times, we are focused on stats. Now, since she's not a damage dealing hero, all she needs is health and focus. Now, if we look at her gear, I do have a focus necklace on her, and that helps. You do not need a focus necklace. All you really need are the stats, some health, some speed, and some focus on her. She is in a Terra set and a Revival set because she's only level 30. If we look at her stats, again, 7,500 health. If you have yours at level 50 and she's over 10,000 health, that'll be fantastic. You don't need her in a Revival set. You can put her in a Cursed set if yours is not dying. Cursed would be ideal for her. As long as you have enough focus, somewhere around 50 to 70 will do, 75 will do. I'm at 100. You don't really need 100. Cursed set works really well. Revival gear works really well. And if you look at all of her gear, most of her gear is very, very low. I had some pieces laying around. I just slapped on, and I had this focus necklace I put on her because why not? Pluto is level 60, no ascensions. Joseph is level 60 with maxed ascensions. He is very, very easy to get. However, as I mentioned before, I wanted to level myself one more Joseph. I just ran out of skill ups. I do have a level 30, but I don't have any ability gems, and I didn't want to spend 2 hours farming gems because my Joseph is already maxed out, and having 2 level 30s in the comp is pretty good. So, Pluto, starting with Pluto, skills, maxed out. Glyphs, maxed out. He's my main damage dealer. That is not too difficult to get. Gear, random gear to hit stats. All I'm looking for stats is 100% crit rate and somewhere around 150, 180 crit damage. As you can see, this is well below 200% crit damage. Very easy to get for a free-to-play. What we're focusing on here is 100% crit rate and anything over 135 speed. This is the focus. 135 speed, 100% crit rate, and then as much damage as we can. If we can push this to 200 and over, that would be ideal. However, most beginner players, most free-to-play players have a really hard time getting to 200. What I did not want to do in this video is use some of my main heroes, because if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I do Ash Magisteria 15 speed runs, which is health 3. I do speed runs in less than 1.5 minutes. So what I wanted to do in this video is a free-to-play comp that you can run yourself. with minimal stats. So moving on to Joseph. Joseph is level 60. Does he need to be level 60? No. Does Pluto need to be level 60? No. However, I cannot go back in time and de-level them. I wish I could. I wish I had another copy of Pluto. I could make level 50 and show you that, but right now I cannot. So Joseph is level 60, does not need to be fully ascended at all. Mine happens to be, and I cannot go back in time. Glyphs. Almost none. Level 1 glyphs, that's it. Looking at his gear, some of his gear is 15. Not really a lot, actually. Most of his gear is 12, about half and half. I do have him in a revival set because I was running him in Faction Wars. Does he need to be in a revival set? Absolutely not. What I have him in is basic gear, basic revival set. Speed 152. Anything over 135 will do. However, you want him going first. So since you want him going first, you need him probably around 140, 145, 150. Put him in speed boots if you need to. Slap him in speed boots to hit 150 speed. Nothing else really that high. 16,000 health. That's not really high at all. Almost no crit rate, no crit damage. We don't care about anybody else. All we want him to do is go first and survive the attacks. And I should probably mention 1,000 defense. Jumping into Ash Magisteria Stage 12 on manual, the only change that I just made was I put Nathalia back to 135 speed because she was a little too fast. Because I accidentally put that speed glyph on her, the turn order became wrong. Starting off on manual, I want to run you through this comp and why this works with these minimal requirements. Jonathan is going to go first. He's going to do his ultimate on auto. This is what he does. His ultimate is going to put up buffs on everybody, attack buffs and defense buffs. Not only that, we are going to use that for Nathalia's trait, and we'll get to that in a second. Santis' skills are going to be off. She's only going to be using her basic on the guy in the back. She's going to use her basic. Pluto's going to do the ultimate here. And then what's going to happen is Nathalia is going to buff herself. Because she starts with buffs, she is going to buff herself. And you can see that there. She put on a third buff. And then Nathalia is going to use her ultimate. Now, why do we have Nathalia going last? As I mentioned before, if your Nathalia is not strong enough to take down the whole wave, you need her to go last because you want the rest of the team to do a bunch of damage. If your Nathalia is strong enough to nuke everybody in one shot, her ultimate will get reset. If she is not strong enough to nuke everybody in one shot, we want her going last, but we want her going before the minions, so she's got to be 135 or faster. Now, at this point, Nathalia will use her ultimate, and when she kills one, if not all of them, her ultimate will actually reset. So at this point, I can put it on auto since I've explained the turn order, and this is why this comp works. Going into this again, Jonathan is going to go, Pluto is going to take his turn, Santis is going to take her turn, and then Nathalia is going to nuke everybody. Now, as you can see, she does not do much damage. There's a lot of room to improve there. However, this is still 100% run for me. This has been very nice. Now, as I've mentioned before, my heroes are level 30. If they were level 50, this would be a lot easier. Right now, this is a bare bones comp for free-to-play players that have no gear. All of this gear that I got, legendary or not, that doesn't matter. All we're looking for is the stats, and you can farm all of this gear in Adventure, including speed boots. If you can farm Queen of Tides 11 or 10, get yourself some healing gear, some revival gear. That will help survivability a lot. If you can level your heroes to 50 or 60, that will help survivability a lot as well. As you can see, Nathalia dies every time here because her health is way too low. But this is still 100%. And I wanted to present this to you, what you can do with minimal stats. And this comp works out very, very well. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of room for improvement. So I hope this helps. If you have any further questions, leave me a comment down below. Also, I'll do you one better. Jump in my Discord if you have any questions, comments. If you want to say, hey, Bear, thank you for the comp. I've tried to go over everything in as great detail as I could. Try to explain everything as best I could. I know there's been a lot of changes in Ash Magisteria, and I wanted to make this video for Ash Magisteria Stage 12 for free-to-play or low-spend players. or if you're just starting and you're struggling to get through this content. With that said, I'll let you finish watching the rest of this run. This has been 100%. I'll throw up a screenshot of my multi-run, as you can see, and this comp works very, very well. The only reason it could potentially fail is if all of the imps target Nathalia on this run, because she's level 30. If she was level 50 or 60, she would do fine. So as I mentioned before, as you can see, this comp is very, very fast, and you can run Ash Magisteria for very much needed Raider gear, because Raider gear is amazing. What Raider gear allows you to do is take your heroes out of speed boots, put them in attack boots, health boots, or defense boots, depending on your hero. And the Raider set actually provides you plus 15 speed, and it's a 2-piece set. So as you can see right here, Nathalia is going to do her thing. Bomb's going to go out. Joseph is going to cleanse it. I might have called him Jonathan. I've used Jonathan a lot. His name is Joseph. He's going to cleanse the bomb there. Nathalia is most likely going to die, but Santis survives. So if we got Nathalia to level 40 or 50, she would survive, and she would still have her buffs, and then she would do more damage to Ash Magisteria. So this comp works really, really well. I'll let you finish watching the rest of this, and that is the turn order. Pay attention to the turn order. If your heroes are going after the waves, that means your heroes are too slow and this comp will fall apart. That said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Do me a huge favor. I would appreciate it if you hit the like and the subscribe down below. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Hop in my Discord, say hello, stay connected. And for more BearCozy videos, check out the top right.